BMXing is thriving over here in England. It's one of the best places we can race.
BMX is getting bigger and it's sick to see. I think if this stadium here was bigger, they would have filled it again.
With a capacity of 2,000, the National Indoor BMX Arena in Manchester, England is the venue for the first of the 5 Supercross World Cup events of the year. Over 200 riders from 29 nations are in Manchester for the opening round. Amongst those taking part is American Connor Fields.
This is the 3rd year here in a row we've been here, and it's one of my favorite events we go to. Anytime you can race indoors, under the roof, it's a really, really great atmosphere and experience.
The first title up for grabs over the weekend is the men's time trial. Connor Fields sets the time to beat. He leads by over half a second with just one rider left to go. That final rider is Liam Phillips of Great Britain, and in front of his home crowd, the 26-year-old manages to secure victory by just a 1/10 of a second. It's a moment to savour for Phillips, who suffered a serious crash at the 2012 World Championships, which were also in his homeland.
It was a very difficult period because I was being carried out of the NIA on a spinal board, and I really feared the worst. I'd had some pretty bad injuries leading up to that point, and when I got to the hospital and I was told, I've just broken my collarbone, it really was like that. I've just broken my collarbone. It wasn't that big a deal to me. It was a case of, okay, well, I've got 10 weeks now until the Olympics, and I know that my collarbone can heal in that time. As it turned out, I broke my shoulder blade and some other bits and bobs as well.
Luckily for Liam, he was cleared to compete at the 2012 Olympics, where despite his injury, he managed to make the final. Although he crashed out when in the mix for the medals, the experience in London boosted his confidence.
Straight after the Olympics, I sat down with my coach and we made a plan to go to the World Championships and try and be successful. And for me, it was just a case of actually believing that I can do it. And from that moment on, I won my first World Cup here in 2013, and then I've won the World Championships and won the overall World Cup last year. And things have progressed, but I think it more from a mental point of view rather than just a physical.
Liam comfortably comes through the motos round of the Supercross, where all riders race over 3 runs and are awarded points to ensure that the most consistent riders qualify for the knockout stages. In the women's event, last year's overall World Cup champion Caroline Buchanan of Australia breezes through to the semi-finals. The 2015 season will see female riders receive the same prize money as their male counterparts, something that the 24-year-old is encouraged by.
When we got here for practice, sort of 53 women dropping in that ramp, and it's the most amount of numbers we've seen at the Supercross level for women, up until this date. And last year we actually got even prize money as well, and that was the only World Cup stop that put it. So last year, this year, it's pretty cool and exciting, and we do this for a living, so it's still a bit challenging, but for them to actually realise that, we're going just as far, we're training just as hard, we've got to pay just as big as entry fee and you name it. So stoked to see that they've really picked up that bill.
Caroline narrowly lost out to Colombia's Olympic champion Mariana Pajon in the time trial, but she's aware that their rivalry is one of the selling points of a sport that's growing in popularity.
It's cool. It's stepping up every year. IMG's now looking after the series, so they're promoting it a lot more and getting it out there to the mainstream. It's a sport that everyone loves to watch it. Once they kind of see it, they're hooked, and the crowds are getting bigger, the venues are getting better, and more riders. So look out at this next Olympic Games. I think it's going to be a big one.
In the knockout rounds, only the top 4 in each race progress to the next stage. In the men's quarter-finals, double Olympic champion Marius Strombergs bows out, having not quite recovered from a spectacular crash in the final motos round. In the semi-finals, a poor final bend sees Connor Fields drop from 3rd to 6th place, resulting in a surprise exit for the American. Australian world number 1 Sam Willoughby, wearing the rainbow jersey, qualifies with ease for the final, as does Liam Phillips. Mariana Pajon is the favourite for the women's final, especially given Caroline Buchanan's bad start in the semis, which sees her out in gate 5 for the final. However, it's the Australian who goes on to triumph here.
When I jumped into that first corner and saw, Elise's sort of wheel pop behind me, I knew from there just to hold together a smooth lap and managed to clean up the last straight as well and got that really clean. So, no, just super stoked. I won here last year and won again.
In the men's final, Liam Phillips is aiming to defend his title and maintain his unbeaten streak on the Manchester track. And he does just that.
My start was unbelievable. Got out good and got across the first jump and actually tried to move myself over a little bit going down the first straight and give myself a little bit of room going into turn 1. And then this jump that we're stood next to here it's so tricky. The faster you go, the more difficult it is. And I did miss the landing a little bit, but managed to get on the pedals. And to be honest, I just tried to stay smooth. And then I didn't realise that there'd been a big pile up behind me, and I was sort of out on my own really. But the lap was faster than my time trial yesterday, which is it's always nice. To do the double again, time trial and race is it's unbelievable. It was always going to be difficult coming into the race weekend because everybody was, they were asking, can Liam do the three-peat, but to go undefeated on this track is, it's quite special, especially with how BMX is. It only takes one mistake.
The next round of the BMX Supercross World Cup takes place in Papendal in the Netherlands. Subscribe now to our YouTube channel for the very best of Trans World Sports.